My name's Stuart, I work here at Overworld. I'm involved with the training of our apprentices and kickstarts. Overworld is a creative media company that works in a couple of different areas. We mostly monetize around live streaming and digital content creation. We have a monetized YouTube channel, a monetized live stream, well, 2 monetized live streams. We've got a combined audience of around 2 million people. We also offer gaming events and education provisions here on site. All of our apprentices are working as junior content producers, but they're working in different areas of the business. So we had 2 apprentices that were working on the kind of front-end Facebook page, and then 2 of our junior content producers were creating content for the YouTube channel. We get them kind of a full look at the whole business, and then we try to get them to specialize in one area where they can add value. The reason we started looking at apprentices, we've always done training provisions with our staff. We've taken juniors on before, we've taken on people with sort of college leavers, work experience and so on. We've also had people in on the Kickstarter scheme, so apprenticeships just seemed like that kind of natural progression. The Kickstart scheme is really good because it brings them in at a sort of gentler pace because of the 25 hours, and because of the way the pay is structured, it's not as much of a risk to the business. So it means we can take a risk on somebody that we're not necessarily sure whether or not they have the correct skill set. Once they've come in, it gives us 6 months to really train them, give them time to actually learn and acclimatise to the business. And those that do really, really well within that time, that's like the best interview we could ever have in terms of progressing them onto an apprenticeship, because it shows you exactly whether or not they're going to fit within the business, and also shows them whether that's what you want to do. When you're young, a lot of people like the idea of, we're a creative media gaming company, but then when they come in and see the work, they don't necessarily understand what's entailed within that. So having the Kickstarters is that fantastic introduction so they can actually see on the ground what it's like working with us. So if I give you, for Kickstarters that are progressing on, if I give you an example, we've got one called Tom. He came in as an ex-level 2 student from IT, wanted to learn about broadcasting and getting involved with the TV studio. First 2 months of his time as Kickstarter was spent in our TV studio, underneath my kind of watchful eye, just absolutely taking all the equipment apart, learning how the signals work, learning how to use a vision mixer, learning how everything's routed and composed, really going into detail about how it all works. Within about 2 or 3 months of working with us, he was running the live streams. He's now one of our kind of key members of staff, and when we're putting together new broadcasts, rather than coming to me for help, he's the one that then designs how the broadcast is going to run and directs it from the room. He's absolutely excelled and done an amazing job, and because he's stood out so much, we're now wanting to kind of take him further and to put him onto the apprenticeship. So we tend to have quite a lot of success with the apprentices we're having. They all come in with really, really good attitudes, but I don't know whether that's partly down to our business area. But the people that approach, they come here because they're passionate about it and they want to be working in the industry, not just studying it. Otherwise they would have gone off down a different training route, university, whichever one they're looking at. Our apprentices come here because they really want to understand and get hands-on experience inside the business. And what I find, I work with actually training them and kind of stepping halfway between college, training provider and employer. I found that as I work with them and go through some of the training provisions that are outlined by the college, you see these little light bulbs going off going, oh, I didn't realise that, I didn't see that clicks in really well there. Their attitudes are really, really good, but as you start to fill in the knowledge around that practical work, you really start to see and piece everything together and start to develop into young professionals. So any employers that are looking to take on apprentices, the process can seem a little bit daunting, a bit confusing, and there's lots of different caveats to it. So my advice would be just get in touch with the Apprenticeship Hub. Their job is there to make it simpler and make the process straightforward. Once you actually take your apprenticeship on, the training provisions are mostly met by the college, and the college's job is to work with you to make sure that the training provisions in place suit the business needs. It's their job to train the apprentice and your job to facilitate the employment. So the Apprenticeship Hub is there to make that process easier for you. So just have the conversation and see where it leads.
Hi, so I'm Lexi Rees. I'm an Apprenticeship and Skills Hub advisor for the Apprenticeship Hub as part of Hampshire County Council. The Apprenticeship Hub provides free impartial advice to any business of any size in Hampshire and Surrey. So we tailor our advice to that specific business, from finding out their business needs to their skills gaps and seeing what programme or skills programme is suitable, such as apprenticeships, traineeships, kickstarts, T-levels, and then provide advice on funding and then the process behind that as well. So we just try to make it a little bit easier for that particular business. So in the particular circumstance with Overworld, they're so passionate about providing opportunities for individuals, and they've offered Kickstart and apprenticeships, and we've also offered them to be involved with our Kickstart aftercare as well. So as mentioned earlier, some of the Kickstarts are going to progress into an apprenticeship. So I'm going to come in and talk about what apprenticeships are suitable. If they're not all going to go on to an apprenticeship, I can also give advice to those individuals individuals about what other options there are in terms of their career progression as well. So I'm happy to chat to any employer in Hampshire and Surrey. If you want to get in touch with us, you can contact us via our website on www.theapprenticeshiphub.com.